Okay, lesson 14, what's it mean to evaluate an expression? So in other words, we're going to talk about algebraic expressions and what it means to evaluate an algebraic expression. First of all, what is an algebraic expression? Well, all an algebraic expression is it's a combination of maybe numbers and letters. Now those letters, I'm going to change this to a different letter. The letters are what we call variables. So the term in algebra for a letter is a variable. Now sometimes we also call variables or letters unknowns because we don't know what they are. For now, we don't know what A is equal to. We don't know what B is equal to. Sometimes we do, sometimes we won't. But the more we get into algebra, the more algebraic expressions are going to be useful for story problems. So what I have here, a plus 2b, is an algebraic expression. It's a combination of variables and numbers, and also operations. Now let's take a look at example 1. It says evaluate. So we're going to take x minus xy, and we're going to evaluate that. Now all we do is they're telling us what x is equal to in this problem. It's a -2. And we know y equals 3. So the very first thing we want to do is to place a -2 in for x. So wherever we see an x, we're going to put a -2 in for it. And notice that I put parentheses around the second -2 just to emphasize that it is a -2. I could even put parentheses around that first one if we wanted to. And what is y equal to? Well, y is equal to 3. So in this algebraic expression, it's really important to understand the operations. So we have x minus x times y. And notice that I emphasize the x times y. Remember, when you have two letters side by side, or a number and a letter side by side, it means multiplication. So I have x minus x times y, or in other words, a -2 minus a -2 times 3. Now down below, I got to use PEMDAS. Now there are no parentheses to do work inside of. There are no exponents, but I do have multiplication. So I have to do that multiplication first. So I have a -2 minus, what's a -2 times 3? -6. Now I don't have any division. I do not have any addition. I kind of do though, because if I take, what's a minus minus become? -2 plus 6. So really that is addition. And now I add those, and I get 4. So we've evaluated this algebraic expression. This is an algebraic expression, combination of letters or numbers. Here I just have letters or variables. And we evaluated it, and we got 4. All right, example 2, same thing, little different type of algebraic expression. Now the very first thing you need to do is you need to simply write down the expression after you put the numbers in for them. Now, what do I have here? I have a minus whatever a times b minus a is. So in other words, I got to figure out what ab minus a is, and then take that away from a. So let's see, a is a -4 minus parentheses a times b, -4 times -2 minus what a is, -4. So I very carefully substituted the numbers in for the letters. Now I need to use PEMDAS. Now do I have parentheses where there's work to be done? Yes, there is, right here. So I have a -4 minus, now inside the parentheses I have to make sure that I use my order of operations in there. So remember, multiplication comes before subtraction. So a -4 times -2 is 8, minus -4 is +4, right? Now finish out the parentheses by adding. I get 12. So really I have a -4 minus 12. Take away 4, take away 12 more, it's a -16. We've evaluated that algebraic expression. All right, example 3. They're slowly becoming a little bit more complicated. All right, so I'm going to find x minus a times b times a minus b. So let's place the numbers in for the letters. I have a -3 minus a is a -2. I'm going to put 2 in parentheses. I'm going to use parentheses to show the multiplication in this one. Times b, which is a negative 4, right? Because AB means A times B, parentheses, then I have A, negative 2, minus B, negative 4. Very carefully, I place those numbers in for the letters. You need to write out that step. You have to do it. Now, are there any parentheses to do with work inside them? Yes. So I have a negative 3 minus a negative 2, which I'll be able to simplify here pretty soon, times a negative 4 times, what is a negative 2 minus a negative 4? That's a negative 2 plus 4. That's 2. Right? Any exponents? No. Any multiplication? Yes. Right here. So I have a negative 3 minus, let's see, what's a negative 2 times a negative 4? Might be a good place to use the calculator if you can't remember that rule. It's 8. And then take 8 times 2. That's 16. So it's minus 16. Now I can subtract because there's no division. There's not any addition, but there is subtraction. Take away 3, take away 16 more. I've taken away 19. All right, example 4. Let's evaluate it. Let's take our time and put the numbers in for the letters. So this is the teaching point right here. How are you going to handle that? You're going to take the opposite of what x is. You're going to take the opposite of what x is. What is x? It's a negative 4. Notice how I wrote that. Minus sign or opposite, opposite side. Times a times a plus x, or in other words, a negative 2 plus a negative 4, plus x. All right, any parentheses to do work inside of? Yes. So I have the opposite of a negative 4 times a negative 2 times a negative 6 plus a negative 4. Any exponents? No. Any multiplication? Yes. Right here. Now, while we're doing that, let's take care of this minus sign out here. And I could do this a number of different ways. Okay, this is another little teaching point with us. I could take the opposite of a negative 4, which is 4, times a negative 2 times the negative 6, and do it that way, and figure out what the answer is. Or, I could take a negative 4 times a negative 2 times a negative 6, get an answer, and then take the opposite of that. It's going to work out the same way. I'm going to take the opposite of a negative 4 first, write it as 4, times my negative 2, times my negative 6, and plus my negative 4. Okay, multiply. 4 times a negative 2 is a negative 8. Negative 8 times a negative 6, 48. Plus my negative 4, answer 44. Okay? One more. Let's just get you started on it. I want you to finish it out before you look at the answer on it. All right, take the opposite of, let's see, m is 2, x is a negative 3. Parentheses, take the opposite of a. Take the opposite of what a is. And a is a negative 4. And I put it inside parentheses. Plus whatever m is times x. And then my parentheses. So my parentheses here are shown right here. All right, is there any work to be done in parentheses? Yes, here and here. So I have the opposite of 2 plus a negative 3 is negative 1 times, do the work inside the parentheses. Last thing I'll do is add. Figure this out, figure this out. Opposite of a negative 4 is 4 plus the negative 6. Now, I can take the opposite of a negative 1 right now, or I could take a negative 1 times whatever this is, then take the opposite of it. I'll do the opposite of a negative 1 right away, which is 1, times a negative 2, right? Because 4 plus a negative 6, answer, multiply, negative 2. So, what we've done here is we've talked about algebraic expressions and what it means to evaluate an algebraic expression.